Coach.
Coach, with Tony out, you saw your other guards get a little bit more minutes. What did you like out of what you saw out of them tonight?
I thought Josh and Desante were great. I mean, I thought they made good decisions. They made shots. They made a few mistakes, but not many. And just keeping them out there and letting them develop their confidence is going to be important because we're going to need them both.
It looks like Desante was getting a little bit more aggressive, driving to the basket.
Well, that's the way he plays. I mean, he's always going to play that way. Sometimes, you know, you might have a mistake or two, especially when you're playing against an experienced team. But he's always going to attack, and that's where he's really at his best.
I asked you about Aaron yesterday, but here he's thrust in a first start, and he seemed to handle that.
Yeah, he's ready for that. I mean, he played like a veteran. I said, you know, Tony's not going to go. Just do what you do. And you know, it's good to see him raise up and hit a couple threes, but I thought he pushed it. You know, they played a little, you know, 1-2-2 pressure, mixed defenses a little bit. He was terrific, I thought. And defensively, and we did some switching, so that put him on some big guys, and he fights you in the post. He's got enough size to do that.
Do you think Tony will be, at this point, ready to go Friday?
It's hard to say, Chad. I mean, I would think, but you know, he's hurting right now, so we'll see. Hopefully he'll be ready.
On the release, it's like a bruise type thing?
Yeah, it's lower leg. You know, that's all it is.
Did that happen in?
I think it's happened over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I asked Patrick about this, but with Chris, I mean, obviously great expectations were placed on him, and it's probably not entirely fun knowing you're going to be compared to your brother, but he seems to be handling it without the slightest problem.
Yeah, nothing bothers him. You know, there was a lot of John the other night to that effect. He doesn't rattle. He's got 29, he got 30 tonight. He isn't paying attention to it.
Fran, Peyton started off, I think, 0 for 8, but made his last 3 shots. Really stayed with it defensively and on the glass. I mean, what's that just say about his role in the team when things aren't going well? He just
That's what I told him. I said, look, you're not a shooter. You're a player. You can shoot, you can drive, you can post, you tip it in, you play defense, you can switch and guard smaller guys. He's always moving without the ball. You know, he had a wide open 3 that didn't go, and then he missed a bunny, and I think that got him a little bit sideways. But it was great to see him settle down, make a couple shots, get to the free throw line. I think that was important as well.
Your boys, your sons, combined for 28, and Connor. I mean, what can Connor do if he shoots more? I mean,
yeah, I keep telling him to shoot more. You know, and he's been really efficient in practice, and he really takes great pride in coming in with that second unit and helping those young guys and talking them through it. His communication on defense is invaluable. But you know, the good thing is, I mean, he only takes good shots. You know, and when he's open, and defensively, you know, he can switch and guard different positions. But just having veterans like that is so critical.
Coach, looking ahead to a few ACC opponents coming up, how important was it for these first 4 games to execute and have wins like this?
Yeah, you know, I think the important thing was that, you know, a lot of guys get minutes. You know, we got Joshua Gundolay minutes, Josh Dix, Desante Bowen. Got to get those guys ready because we're going to play back to back. You're going to need bodies. So I was pleased with that component. I think for the most part, everybody's played well. Sure, there's been some mistakes, but you know, they locked into the game plan and executed the game plan, and that's critical. As we move forward, we start playing really good teams. You got to be able to stay with the game plan and execute it, and they've proven that they can do that. And it's a lot harder than people think when you're a freshman, in particular.
Do you know much about what you're going to see in Clemson?
No, I mean, I haven't looked at them at all. I'll start with them tomorrow.
Coach, Patrick described Chris's 30 as smooth and easy. Is that kind of what you saw out there?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to have left him in there, and he could have really gone for a big number, but, you know, we're not going to accomplish anything. I'm not going to get him hurt. You know, I got him out of there. But, I mean, he was really cooking there for a while. And the good thing is we really started looking for him, and that's what you got to do. You got a guy that's going good like that, you got to load him up. And you got to wait and get it to him. You know, quick shoot the ball when you got a guy on fire like that. Let it happen and keep going to him.
How nice was it to see him come out on fire right away when you know?
Well, everybody else was struggling early. It was really important in particular. And that's, you know, he's really good at that. You know, he'll get you a bucket. He did the same thing the other night. We got down 10-2, and he made the, you know, a couple buckets after that. Got it back to even, and next thing you know, we're up 8, 9. But somebody needed to step up at that moment, and he did.
Do you feel like, I mean, I guess this is probably a dumb question. Do you feel like he's ready for that? I mean, to be like kind of that leading guy. It seems like he kind of eases into the game maybe a little bit right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, he welcomes it. You know, that's what he wants. You know, he's way more vocal than he's ever been. I mean, he's not a guy that's overly vocal anyway. He's more vocal than Keegan, but now he knows what's expected of him, what's expected of us, what we need to be doing.
Fran, you always talk about guys having a business-like approach, you guys having a business-like approach. You kind of got your first taste of that, I think, after Seton Hall, but it just seems like they celebrated the win, but just came out not thinking about anything other than the task at hand. Is that kind of the way you saw it as well?
It's the only way you can survive a long season, especially with the schedule that's before us. You know, everything's going pretty smooth so far. We know that it's not always going to be like that. How do you handle adversity? You know, like early on today, we did make some shots. You know, we just kept hooping, and I think a lot of guys have confidence in themselves, so you have confidence in your teammates. So you know, 24 assists again. That's a good number. I thought our rebounding was better in the second half. I think we only had 1 offensive rebound in the first half, 9 in the second half, so that's good. Bunch of guys, you know, 3 guys in doubles, 8, 7, 9, you know, with some other guys, so that's evenly distributed offense.
You spoke on confidence. It seems like Philip Ravancha's confidence is just on another level compared to last year. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's playing great. I mean, he had a couple rim out on him early, but he doesn't let anything bother him anymore. He's playing like a veteran. That's what we need from him.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.